Okay, so we'll go ahead and start the next game up. Not Mad Cow, Sad Cow. My favorite skin out of everything in the game, Benjamin, I really like the Savage Kraken or the
Nemo.
Voodoo Kraken, I think.
Nemo.
That being said, I love all the bog skins, but I think that Savage or Voodoo Kraken are probably my favorites. I think that those are some of the cooler ones. Crack finger typing. Oh, thank you. Hey, Eckley, how's it going? Everybody love Kraken, no love for Goliath. My big problem is I'm weakest with Goliath and I know it. That being said, I don't dislike any of the monsters, but Goliath is really hard for me because I'm very much a more methodical monster, and because Goliath is kind of in your face and in melee and everything like that, it's really hard for me to pull out when I need to because I feel like, you know, oh, Hulk smash type of a thing, whereas Kraken I can observe from the top of the battlefield, and it's a bit more calculated. Wraith is also very similar in that aspect, and Behemoth has enough of a health pool that I don't really feel like I'm being too worked on when I go and try and start obliterating people. But Goliath is a little bit more, because he has no huge strengths, he has no huge weaknesses, and so he's a little too balanced for me. I like a little bit more niche to my characters. Niche I think is what I'm trying to say. Nice go off the bat. So now they're going to have to work. Oh, I guess Daisy will catch up. So interesting. Yeah, no Striders here. So my idea about how the field of view is being affected doesn't make any sense because otherwise there would have been Striders and or the Tyrant back there, and it does not look like it. So it looks like he does not have Flame Breath. Ooh, miss. Whiff and a miss. So let's see where the Daisies go in. Daisy smelling the ground. Going this way. It's this way! I'm flying! Whee! I love how she goes head first. Hilarious. So Daisy, if he sneaks, he might be able to go through. Otherwise, Daisy might cut through the middle building. There's the birds, unfortunately. So now they'll cut through the building. Ooh, and there goes more birds. So I actually kind of recommended him to try a different path to see if this creature spawns. And I think I might... That's a lot of birds. And I think I might have inadvertently got him kind of trapped here in a second. So, interesting. Let's see what Daisy's doing, or Maggie. I always call Maggie Daisy and Daisy Maggie. I do like the positioning of some of these traps, trying to make sure that the monster doesn't go and try and escape out through a small little entrance. Doing a really good job. Oh, Daisy about to release the monster. Oh, and there's the monster icon. I feel like that he could have gotten domed there. Still could get domed. Ooh, and it looks like that he is going to get across, and it looks like he'll be able to get across without too much effort. The nice thing, though, is that if he does evolve back here, he's got a lot of juicy mammoth birds to work with back there. Take it easy, Lunariah. Sorry that your internet's not working too well. So here we go, just one more meet, and he's ready to evolve. So looking like a really good position. He's going to try and do a little bit of damage. Oh, nice dodge on the rock throw. Looks like he's still waiting to see if he's going to try and get domed or not. Oh, and there's a Tyrant. I think that Tyrant literally just spawned right on him. There comes another rock throw. Trying to go after the Trapper. Ooh. Interesting build. So rock throw and no flame breath. So this is actually a pretty decent combat build. It's not great for farming. Ooh, a little bit of damage all over. Might give them pause for throwing down the dome right now. And it looks like he's going to try and get away. And, yep, I think that he's going to be able to get away. He looks like he's getting a little bit of armor. I think he's worried that he might get domed here. And if he was going to get domed, I probably wouldn't want to get domed in this corner. This corner is not a very good spot for the monster, because there's no really good areas to juke. Oh, but he might be able to actually get all the way across and evolve in Crowbill Alley, as it's been affectionately termed and coined by many TRS. Oh, and there we go. There's that build again. So it looks like he feels pretty confident at stage 1. A Kyra-Hank combination, and no matter what kind of build I have, I rarely feel safe about trying to engage at stage 1. But I think he's trying to poke out the dome so that he doesn't get domed right when he evolves. But going across here, he might get enough distance to be able to pick a good, decent spot to evolve. So if he cuts out and evolves over here, he might be able to do just that, because it takes a little while for them to cut across here. So much jetpack fuel going across this little ravine here. Goliath does a very good job of... Ooh, and the Trapper right on top of him might be able to do a little bit of damage. Oh, there goes the dome. This is actually a decent area for the Goliath, and very good, because he can actually go out this side, go up a floor, can go down a floor, and I think he might even have access. Yeah, he might have access to this area too. So this is actually a pretty decent area. He's got lots of room to work with. Oh, and there's all the traps. And Kyra up at a fantastic vantage point. Nice attempt on trying to get him off. But Kyra up there can do good damage. And it looks like Markov doing a great job. Got some nice... Ooh, nice harpoon trap up at the very top of there. That's actually a pretty nice spot for them. I do like that Hank is holding off on his orbital, doing a very good job. So right now, the monster trying to do his best to try and mitigate damage as best he can. Ooh, and that harpoon trap. I think it's interesting. Like, sometimes you just don't even realize that you have a Maggie harpoon trap on you until it's too late. And there's Goliath just doing his best to try and hide. Oh, and there goes the dome. So lost about a little bit more than a quarter of his health, but still in a decent position. He's still got all of Crowbill Alley to work with. Getting up to a high position to do a leap. Very good job. A lot of monsters don't use their leaps or leap smashes in good spots. I feel that leap was a little short on distance. And it looks like now he's going to try and go to Crowbill Alley, get all that nice juicy 3 meats that he ignored or he didn't get to at the beginning of the game. Got a little bit of armor, so now that if they do chip him, he's not going to do very much. And there's those birds. Daisy all the way back here, just kind of off in her own la-la land. Interesting. Daisy did not spur the wrath of the mammoth birds. So you should have plenty of food back here. Now, being domed back here, it's kind of interesting. I can't tell if it's a really, like, it's decent monster favor, but it's also like being out in the open. There's no good spots to hide for the monster, but there's no good spots to really be up on the high ground. I think, if anything, the hunters have a little bit of advantage back here, just because the hunters can be up on high ground, but the monster can't really juke around any nasty pillars or anything. So support getting knocked down. It looks like that the medic does not go with the assault, and it looks like he might be able to get it down here on Hank. He just barely gets away. Medic, fantastic job pre-shooting those grenades to get the support up and running as soon as possible. So it looks like he's just leap smashing the... nice job on doing a little bit of damage. So Pie Face by himself back here. Not quite at full armor, but if he gets domed here, this could be a very good, strong position for the hunters. So Monster now looking for where... Hi, Aiden. Do you want to see the monster? Aiden, do you want to see the monster? So Monster doing a good job keeping away from Maggie. So with this kind of a team composition, if the medic is not with the Trapper, it's very easy to juke out Maggie, because Maggie has a hard time landing a dome if the monster's aware of it and everything. So a little bit of food. One more bite of food and he's ready to evolve stage 3. And once again, support, preemptive cloak. I like that. I like that he realizes that. As soon as he cloaks, I think that would be an interesting time to engage, because then the trap support cannot take care of the Trapper or medic. Ooh, but medic lobbing grenades from a distance. Trapper might be going down in just a moment. and it looks like it's forcing the trapper to come back here. So this is actually a rough position, but it looks like the hunters are making a good job out of it, staying away from each other and getting those heals on the people that need it. So here we go. Here goes Chipotle. Oh, Louis, very, very low without a cloak. He might be going down right now. Nice orbital. I like this orbital. It's going to protect him for a few more moments. Very, very good job. That orbital was exactly what happened, needed to happen, and the medic able to heal herself, or sorry, the trapper and the support at the same time. I would have liked to see the medic probably stay up here on this rock here or over here. You don't want to move too much as the medic. You basically just want the high ground, and that's about it. So Hank about to get knocked down. Ooh, that tree happened to catch the blast. I like that they're kind of using this tree to try and block that, and I also like the placement of mines. Being in a mine, remember, will knock a rock away, and a lot of people forget that. You know, standing in a mine is a very, very good way to prevent you from getting killed by Goliath, because if a rock throw hits you, oh, and it looks like the armor's gone and the monster's health is melting, but really good job from the hunters. So the hunter's near full health. Monster looking in a bad shape, might be getting it down on Daisy, decides to get the strike on Daisy and bail out of there. One more meat and he's ready to evolve. It's really strong engagement for the hunters. I would have liked to have seen them up on the higher ground a little bit more, and I really would have liked to see a lot more hunters using Markov mines. Markov's mines are really, really good. So if the monster comes at you with fire breath, you just go to another mine. If the monster rock breaths you, your mine will take the shot and you won't get any damage from it. So it's a very, very strong tool, especially against a Goliath who favors rock throw, and honestly, most Goliaths favor rock throw because it's probably one of the better skills, if not the best skill for him. Oh, and that tree, not quite on fire. Oh, wow, they're a little far behind. So really kind of split up. It looks like that the medic was trying to keep up with the trapper. And it looks like the monster ready to evolve, getting a little bit of kills right before he evolves. So the assault and trapper might be able to get here, but he should be able to avoid the dome. So monster at half health, and unfortunately Fusion Plant has one of the hardest relays. You can do a lot of defense up here. Hank and Akira up on those stupid poles up there can do an amazing amount of mitigation. It looks like he's going the traditional 3-3-3 build, and he's going to be getting away. Oh, Dome got thrown and missed the monster, so the monster looks like he's going to have a pretty good time. Oh, that tree takes on the full wrath of the Goliath. So it looks like Goliath is just going to get enough armor. And it looks like that they might be, if I were the hunters, because their dome is down, I would probably just go ahead and defend here. You've already lost the ability to dome, and you're not going to find the monster at less than half armor. So I'd probably just pull back and start working on your defenses. Especially on a map that has a very favorable relay for the hunters, like ridiculously strong if they know how to cheese it up on those relays, which I'm happy to report is getting fixed finally, as well as other map changes, which should be good. So getting a little bit of armor, going after the tyrant. I do like monsters that agitate the tyrant as the hunters get close, because the tyrant's now looking for fresh kills and will go after the wow. So hunter is going to go engage the monster at half armor. I don't know how I feel about this. I feel like this is kind of a misplay, just because the hunters kind of have a disadvantage here. Yes, he does have less armor, but at the relay you can kind of control where you're fighting and do a really good job, because like I said, this relay is very, very strong for the hunters. They are just poking him, prodding him, letting him get in some armor up. So he's almost at full armor, and now he can actually rush the relay and prevent you from going up there if need be. So I feel like that this is kind of a bad play, because you're basically playing towards the Goliath's strengths right now, or any monster in general. So here comes the fire breath onto support to keep him on fire, and here comes the chain combo, and it should, oh, unfortunately that was a miss. That would have been a strike. There's that orbital defending him. I would have liked to have seen it slightly earlier, especially when you were pinned up against that wall. Probably would have been the best. Oh, and he went right into that rock throw. Didn't quite do enough damage. I think that he might have a damage resistance perk or something, but either that or the rock throw just didn't do enough damage. So right now would be the perfect time to to dome, but it looks like he's going to get away. I'd like to see him go and start eating back here. But right now, the hunters are in a very, very strong position, or sorry, the monster's still in a good, strong position because he's going to be forcing the hunters to not be set up out here. So right now, he could probably hit the relay once or twice and then bail out, just because it makes every time you do damage to the relay, it forces the hunter's hands to be closer and closer from this position. However, getting domed in here with this little health, good job. He's leaving now. As soon as he discovered that he was going to get in there. So, Monster doing a bit more work when eating a couple of spotters. I hate eating spotters just because they're like one meat. I don't know. They're dingy. It's like leftovers. Okay, so it looks like the hunters are finally starting to position themselves over here. I'm not sure. I think they might just not be using that on principle. Nope, looks like they're going to. So now that they're setting up here, and from here you can do an amazing job. Like one healer here and the support over here, and you just keep each other alive, can make a monster's life a living hell. So really, really strong defensible position, this little area. So there they do, a little bit of poking damage here and there, just draining armor when they can. So it looks like the monster going after the relay, I believe. Nope. Trying to bait them out. Ooh, was that what I... Nope. So I was looking for a little bit more meat, not quite ready to engage. Either that or he's trying very hard not to fight people over here. So I would like to see maybe the support. So I think ideally what you want is you want Markov up on this little platform over here, able to shoot the monster if he's on the relay. If the monster chases him, all the hunters go back over here and do their best to kind of kite the monster here. You can also have Kyra kind of stay near this little entrance here and then just lob grenades towards the relay. So here comes the monster, Tony the Tiger in red and orange, ready to go ahead and get the hunter's brains. And there he goes after the relay. I like this move. You don't engage the hunters where they are. You force the monsters to come to you. So now it comes to a job of who can kind of play around this objective best. So Goliath doing a great job forcing them to come in here and not play with their little ridiculous setup over here. I really like what they're doing here. So really good job by Local in getting the power relay very low and doing a great job of forcing the hunters to come after him. And I like that he's not just going to commit up here because this, like I said, very, very hard place to commit to. And it looks like he is going to try and engage over here. I'd like for him to kind of do a little bit of damage and then retreat back to the relay. Again, forcing the hunters to come out. Monster armor almost at 50%. The dome should be dropping pretty soon. Hi, Eden. You want up? You want up? You want to watch the monster? Ooh, yeah. Is that the monster? What does the monster say? No, that's the cow. The cow goes from me. Where does the monster go? Yeah. Okay, so Monster, again, still at 50% of health. Hunter's doing a good job trying to keep line of sight and staying in this general central area. So at this point, it becomes a game of tug of war. Basically, the Monster is forcing the Hunters to go towards the relay, and he's still got 4 minutes left, which is still a lot of time in the grand scheme of things. So he's trying to force the Hunter to come to him, and the Hunters are forcing the Monster to come to him. So it's basically a war of attrition. If they can do a solid job of keeping the Monster off the relay, then the Hunters should win this. If the Monster is forcing the Hunters to dome him in this area when he's got about 75% armor or more, then that will also likewise be a very, very solid move. And here we go. Let's watch the bars. Ooh, and it looks like so they're slightly out of position. Nobody is up on these giant poles of doom. Ooh, and those mines getting ready to do some damage. But it looks like Assault taking a bit of damage. And there's Louie baking in the sun. Ooh, that orbital. That orbital. Little too late, but really good job. You were able to get a massive amount of damage. And here comes the dome. Ooh, this is looking very, very good for the Hunters right now. Medic in a good spot. Just keep on healing there. There is no reason to get at all close to that guy. I see too many medics trying to focus on that. And look at that. Punish, 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 punish for days. This is exactly what you want to do as Hunters, and especially as the medic. You never want to get close. I see so many medics run to try and hit people, and there is Daisy with the win. Or not the win, but with the res. So Local looking in a very hard position right now, trying to do everything he can to survive, but it's going to be very, very, very hard at this point. Moo. That's not a cow. That's a Goliath. He goes, rawr. Maybe he thinks that the orange spots are cow spots. And there goes the rock throw. So loco, not local. Oh, there you go, Aiden. You can go down. So really good job on the hunters, doing a very good job. They did a very good job of forcing the monster to come to them, and that's one of those situations where you have to try and engage the other team on your terms, and that's what's going to decide that map, especially on the fusion plan with that relay, because that relay is very
good game, man.
Very interesting. Really good game.
Monster.
Yeah, rough start. Still no spawns. So I guess it's not necessarily a field of vision or a distance thing. I guess it is just, you know, they just take a few moments to spawn in, which is kind of annoying. I hate it when it happens to me. Yeah. That being the case, though, really good job on both sides. I feel like that even though you went that way, you were able to get a good amount of food. The Trapper holding off. I'm not too sure if the Trapper was waiting for lower armor or waiting for the evolved dome, but I do like that you held it off. I see a lot of people, as soon as they see a stage 1 full armor, they throw it immediately, and I kind of feel that holding on to it is a much better play because, A, it forces them to evolve kind of more in a panic state where he's not really going to pick a good spot, or you can catch him when he's about 50% armor, and then you can do a lot of good permanent damage. So really, really good job. Much better use of the orbitals those times. I felt that they were probably maybe half a second to a second too late, but really good times when you did use them. So much better that time around. Really good.
It's hard when you get bounced around.
Yes. So how
canceled it,
so how is that? Like, so have you guys actually noticed kind of being anti-juggled or?
Oh yeah.
It's better,
oh,
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
I'm wondering if that means that roaching will be less effective than just running away because you can kind of still jetpack while on the ground and not have to worry about getting tumbled into a corner. Oh well.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting now, so that's kind of cool. But really good job. That towards the end, it really could have gone either way many times. The Goliath was forcing the hunters to come inside. The hunters were forcing the monster to fight outside, and that's just a horrible relay. Like, if the hunters know what to do, I always feel bad as the monster because, especially if they're up on those stupid poles, which thank goodness they're fixing. It's so incredibly hard to kind of fight against that kind of stuff. So really good job on trying to force them towards the relay where you were. I feel like that if you went back for food and then did the relay thing again, it would put the relay at so little health that they probably couldn't afford to stay outside just because you'd eventually chip it to death. But really, really good job.
Yeah, I had a few too many spawns that were close to a lot of food that was close to the hunters and not so much that was far away.
Yeah. Yeah, good job though. Really good team. Let's go ahead and swap it up. I think the people want to see a map on the mines, and then we will swap things out and get some people from the chat real quick.